Mr. Victor SS Lim. Maybe you can introduce to me what is SS. Okay, what Victor SS Lim. Before we start, maybe you can kindly introduce yourself in furthermore, because you said 42 years of experience, or maybe half a century experience, or maybe 3 decades of experience, or something. A lot of experience, but we are not antique. We are still very up to date. Yeah, not antique. We are not antique. Yeah. Okay. We three will sit down there, and Mr. Victor Lim will do a solo on this. But when you do a solo on this, you need a microphone. Yeah. So give a big hand to Mr. Victor Lim.
Thank you, Dr. Supon. Dr. Supon is a very jovial person, and everybody knows him. I think in this part of the world, I think in your part of the world as well. So he has invited me to basically organize what I call a one-day seminar in Bangkok on the bolts and nuts of managing shopping mall. So I have managed to gather my good friends, Mr. Lakunan and Encik Zaharin, today in Bangkok to do our bit of, presentation. So here is basically not a teaching session, but rather over the years, from my insight acquired through managing shopping mall under what we call the Real Estate Investment Trust and some other properties in China. So basically here is my insight, the way I look at it, how a mall that should be managed from my perspective. Well, here I prepared some question here. Basically, I always ask myself, as a consumer, as someone that I'm going to visit a mall, what am I actually, managing in the mall? Let's say I own a mall. I'll ask myself, what am I managing in the mall? For me, over the years, I look myself on the other side as a consumer. People nowadays will go to a mall for 4 things: either to work, to eat, to entertain, and connect. So those days, we go to the mall to buy basically all our essential goods and services. And today, I think the mall has evolved pre-COVID and post-COVID. So here, I would like to show what called my slide. There are 10 possible questions that I will ask myself. What am I managing in a mall? So it is there. The first one, I'll ask myself, where is the mall? And number 2, how am I going to get to the mall? Number 3, what type of merchandise mix can I get from the mall? Are there any adequate, convenient, and car parking facilities? How safe is that mall? Can I get all my needs from the mall? Do I get value for money and value for my time spent in that mall? And what about the overall ambience? Is it pleasing, or is it convenient or welcoming? And number 9, any impromptu events or promotions that when I go there, I can get something, not pre-planned, but impromptu. And then lastly, any culinary delights that I can, spend a day there in the mall for myself or with my family. So this is how I look at the mall. How will I manage? Basically, from my inside, we are managing what the customers want, basically, and how to satisfy them. And from there, the mall starts their various activities. How to satisfy customers, to give them the 4 things. a place where they can work, to entertain, to connect, and maybe to eat. And here I'll show you my slide that I have developed from my insight and from my little experience that I have. Slide 2, please. Slide 1. I think I have to go there. Can I go there? No? Can I go there and have to shoot point? Give me. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, not that side, the first slide. Not this one. This one. So, ladies and gentlemen, to manage a mall, from my experience, there are total 54 activities. If there's 54 activities, if I were to talk one by one, I think it will take 3 years, because mall management is basically not just 1 day, 1 hour, but it takes about 3 years to study. But then I understand in our part of the world, the ASEAN countries, there's no university or any training institute whereby one can go and study from year 1 to year 3 to get a qualification to manage mall. But I think they have a diploma program in England offered by the Reading University. I'm sure, in America they could have it, but in Australia they might have it. But in our part of the world, the ASEAN countries, there isn't any yet. So I have condensed the nuts and bolts of mall management in one chart. So the topic for today is innovation. So this is the one that I'm trying to do from my insight, from my experience. That's how I see it. So I start with down here. I can condense 10 activities to manage a mall. So from here is leasing, is tenancy management, marketing, promotion and publicity, customer service, financial management, practice, building services, insurance, risk management, car park, housekeeping, security, and finally, mall transformation. So from here, I also divide mall management into 2. Shopping center mall management 1 will be the soft skill that's called retail management. And from the right side, the hard skill, property management. We manage all the M&E and all the facilities. And from down here, if we manage these 2, on the soft skill, you will get your gross revenue, and from there, your total expenses and net profit. These are the 3 financial pillars. This year, this triangle will give you the attainment and the goals of managing your mall successfully, sustainability, and functionally. You maintain a healthy improvement of cash flow, enhancing productivity of the mall, appreciation in market value, prolong the life cycle, and lastly, most important, functional. So your mall will be functional. So here I have 10 practices. If I go through one by one, I spend my time doing good leasing. Leasing will bring in financial rewards. Rental will pay on time. These 2 is one triangle. These 2 will give you this reward. So this is practice and this rewards. And here, as you go promotion, here. In short, I'll just go briefly. The 10 activities that you perform, you get the 9 rewards of your mall. You get rental paid on time, increase in traffic and sales, sufficient about additional sources of income, low tenancy turnout, good mall management, reduction in maintenance costs, reduction in risk in the mall, and also, reduction in common area costs. And your mall will be doing well. And next part is your treasure. After managing this well, you get this reward. And these are your mall treasures. Your treasure will be, you got a prime location, you got a right tenant mix, you got good facilities, you got good brands, pricing and product, good parking facilities, diverse F&B choices. Your mall is safe, security and safe and efficient operational and maintenance. These are the 8 mall treasures. And after that, here is the important part. 7 stages of mall changes. Mall changes every day, every month, quarterly and yearly depend on customers' needs and their preference, taste and motivation. Why I put market is, market flows, market becomes, market teaches, market rewards, market transform, and market is. If we start here, mall is, I put a small is, I is. Your mall is today. Your market is today. So if you were to maintain your mall as it is today, you will be subject to what? The vagaries of competition from the other malls, new malls coming up and things like that. Before you do that, you still have to look at this 4 immeasurable practice. Every day or every month, quarterly, half yearly or yearly, you have to do a SWOT analysis on your mall. I'm not sure. I don't know whether anybody is doing this in this part of the world. But in the mall I'm doing, we do this on a monthly basis, quarterly and yearly basis, and to assess where we are in the marketplace. So here I shall take you to the 7 stages or more changes. Your market is today. So the market will flow. Whether you like it or not, people will come into your mall, whether you are doing good or no good, what products you have. And then your mall will flow. And as you flow, your mall will become what you are, either doing good or not. And the mall here, the market will teach you. Either you change in view of competition or you remain as it is. If you change, then the market will reward you. Then your mall will be doing well. As the mall will doing well, your mall will transform. And when your mall transform, your mall will be mall is big. So your mall will change from mall east to mall east. That's where your mall transform. As you transform, you have this 6 characteristics. Your mall will unfold. Unfold 1, 6 characteristics. Your mall will have your mall have a good location. You have a good brands. No, it's clear. It's not clear. Can you make it clearer? This one. Make it smaller. Cannot, no? Can see. You have? Excuse me, I'll use my hard copy then. So here I am on line. So these are the 6 attributes of mall after going through the 7 stages of change. So after your mall going through the 7 stages of change, mall east to mall east, these are the 6 attributes you acquired. So your mall, everybody will know your mall is situated in a good location, easy to access by any other form of transportation, either by car or public transport or by taxis and whatnot. And next one, your mall will have your own brand, your brand. You have good ambience and aesthetic, and you have good facilities, and you have good management, and you have good events and promotion. So these all malls must seek to acquire these attributes. Once you have these attributes, what you are actually giving to the people, you are giving customers or whoever come to your mall, these 5 givings. You give them joy. When people come to your mall, they enjoy, they feel happy and comfort because you have all the facilities here to make them comfortable. They are at peace because safe, secure, and they have good experience. They come here for experience. Customers nowadays, besides buying their daily needs or whatever, you give them experience. And lastly, you give them value. Value for the money, value for time spent, and value for their purchases. And these 4, as I said earlier, these are the 4, what I call immeasurable practice you have to do on a monthly, quarterly, half-yearly, annually to make sure your mall, is not stays here, Mall East. You must bring your mall to Mall East so that your mall will be forever functional and probably retain in footfall or increase in footfall. Once you have that, then these are the 3 financial pillars that all mall stakeholders or owners are looking at. Number 1, from all this management, you come to the gross revenue. How much do I get out of this mall after managing the soft skill and going to paying all the hard skills? So my gross revenue will minus the gross expenses, and that will be my net profit for the mall. And then you look up whether my soft part retail management bring enough revenue to support the property management side. If you see, I show you from the soft skill, you bring down all the way. These are your soft skill. And then from here, property management, you manage all the M&E, security, cleaning, car parks, all that. You come down this part, and you fold this one and this one together. That's where your mall is. You achieve a goal. These are your attainments, and this you get for your stakeholders of owner of the mall. So briefly, over the years, I have summed up mall management. How can mall management give all this to people? As you practice, you reward. Practice this, you reward this. You do this, you get this reward. You do this, you get this reward. You do this, you attain your goal. So this briefly, from my insight, from my understanding, that I produced this one chart. So I know initially it's very, very confusing, but nevertheless, I welcome, questions through email or later part of the evening through, open discussion. So I have to explain to you on this side. So this side, on the left side, even though there's leasing, you still have to analyze whether your leasing department or your leasing team, has done good enough. You do analysis. Once you know analysis, here is the knowing. Analysis, no. That means this analysis, you analyze all this. Leasing, tenancy management, and promotion, what I call customer service and financial management. Whether these are good enough, whether they can bring all this for you, this role for you. So this is your knowing. After analyzing this, you will know whether your mall will bring in this for you. Then from here, you will know whether, your cost is very high, your maintenance is not good enough, or you spend too much money unnecessarily. Then from next, you do your correction. You do your correction one by one, you correct it. And then from there, you develop. After you correct, you develop your mall. The mall is, or market is, your mall will flow. Your mall is now, your mall will flow. Your mall will become, your mall teaches you what to do, and your mall will reward you, your mall will transform, and your mall will be attainment here. So make sure that this mall is, to mall is, what is today and what you are doing all this to get it here. And next, what are the attributes? After doing all this, your mall will have these 6 attributes in the marketplace where people will know you. So you unfold your attributes to whom? To the market. And then the market will come and give their commitment. They will come here to your mall happy, joyful. They have comfort, they have peace, they have the experience and finding the value. That's exactly what each mall will have to give to the customers in order to maintain a regular flow of customers. And this one, ladies and gentlemen, we all must do these 4 things. SWOT analysis for our mall. If not, our mall will be stale. And these are the 3. So you advance, you transform these 2, your soft skills, and you realize your goal, your attainment, and then basically this is, in brief, a roadmap that I will use to manage a mall. Or rather, if there's an old mall, how to, revamp it or refurbish it or sustain it through this process. I only limited to 10 activities that I condense in. You can nevertheless, increase on, maybe more, 12, and as you go on, maybe from 1 to 2, maybe to 2 to 1 to 2 or to 3, or from 3 to 4, 4 to 5 as you move on. So you can either move downwards and upwards. If from bottom upwards, you look at your goal, and from your goals, you want to attain this, then you look down. So this briefly, that's my sharing. So fear not. I know it's very confusing. So it took 1 week to plot this out, and of course, maybe in future we're subject to what they call minor touch up, and then make it clearer. In case anybody wants this chart for reference. To the next one. So in any mall operation, if it's a new mall or the old mall or existing mall, all malls have to go to 3 process of learning, growing, and evolving. I think, excuse me, can you go back to the second chart? The first one again, I missed one important point. Can you go back? Sorry about that. Here I did not explain why I put the word uncover, discover, and rediscover. Why I put on line 7 where mall is, I could easily put market is, or I can put either mall is or market is. So here, your mall now existing here. This line will help you to uncover your mall, why my mall is not doing well. Or you will help you to uncover why my mall is doing well. So what are the ingredients? Either not doing well or doing well. And then you discover that I can do better to improve the mall if it's doing well. If it's not doing well, I've already uncovered and discovered that something is wrong. Maybe management, no skills, or rather, there's no proper SOP, and costs are high, and maybe tenant mix is not there, maintenance is not good, ambience is not there, customer who don't have this 5 givings to the customer, and I rediscover what I can do to the mall. So uncover, discover, and rediscover. It doesn't mean that, we'll have to start over again. No. From what you have in your mall, if your mall not doing well, you uncover why not this well. You discover which part of the mall is not doing well. Then you rediscover that I can do something better to improve the goal, the attainment, and all this. So if you need further clarification, please feel free to drop me a line in my email. So next one, please. I hope it's not confusing. Next slide. So here I use the same chart, but now it's basically earlier I said all mall have to go through 3 processes of learning. You grow from there and you evolve. So here I put earlier the 10. Then the soft skills, the 5, retail, business management, and then the last 5, the hard elements, property and facilities management. So here you practice, you perform, those are your rewards. Once you got this reward, do you see the center here? You change the character of the mall, the image of the mall. So this is a reward, you change the character. And then next one, you practice, then you change what? You change in mall awareness, the rewards. Next, you practice what you are changing, you change customers' experience. Customers come in, they experience. And here you do the 4 practices. What are the rewards? You change in your mall destiny. Either your mall destiny going up or going down. So I will assume the mall destiny changes here. It goes up here. Long-term sustainability, you get your goal, you get your attainment, management is very happy. So here you got your 10 practices from leasing as you go up, the earlier chart, and those are the 10 attainments. And these are the 10 transformation activities. You transform your mall into this, 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 and this. Okay. So, ladies and gentlemen, I think that is about all I can and manage to share my thoughts, my insight from my experience depicted into one chart, slide 1, and slide 2. So please kindly go back to slide 1. Sorry, slide 2. See anybody wants to ask anything or not. If not, we shall reserve it towards the end of the day. I know first time you look at it, it's very confusing. It's just like a pyramid. But everything is there, condensed in one chart. So, do I have time or do I have exceeded my 1 hour? Half an hour. So I still got half an hour. So maybe I should show the other one, the other chart. Chart 4. You don't have the 10 transformation. Not this one. Oh, you deleted it. So Dr. Sabon, can you show the chart 2 again? Dr. Sabon, I've answered all these questions. Yes, in the slide here, slide 2. Could you please show the slide since our Dr. Sabon is here? Slide 2. Yeah. Can you show the slide? Show. What did you do? Show to Dr. Sabon. Slide 2. No, I've answered all this into slide 2. Okay, that's on the slide 2. I answered the question in all here. You were absent, but fortunately, Ojo, you are finished, but your time is until 10:30. But yeah. There is 9:45, so maybe you may elaborate more. Because when you say something about this, you said that it may be somehow difficult to explain. But now we have time. Maybe you can
elaborate more so that
Yeah.
people you understand more about this because you have some no worry.
Can they ask question now so that I can explain now?
But first is you have time and then you said that this is difficult to explain. That's why maybe
No, I can explain. I can explain this, but the question is, if the audience want to ask on which part, then perhaps for the benefit of the others, I can explain one by one, or circle by circle. Sorry about that.
no questions, sir.
No questions so
Still no
far.
question yet. But maybe as you said, this is difficult to understand. So maybe you can go further because I remember that you said number one, the realization, the goal, and then you say something about the soft elements, and then you said the hard elements. But you said that when you said about the hard elements, maybe it may be difficult for people to understand. Maybe you can elaborate a
Okay.
little bit about the hard elements
Okay.
that you mentioned.
Okay.
And then you say something about the advancement, and then the rest you did not say much. So maybe you can go further for no hurry. Just another 15 minutes. That's fine.
Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe I've gone too fast earlier. Just maybe a cursory look, and now perhaps maybe Dr. Sopan said, spend some time, maybe explain on the hard elements. The hard elements in any shopping mall management, there are two aspects of it. One is the retail management, and the other one is property management. So retail management, I classify under soft elements or soft skills. Here, you have the five. I've condensed into five. Leasing, tenancy thing, go and do leasing. Then tenancy management, you have to manage the tenants. Next, you have to do, what they call, do on a weekly, monthly basis, how to enhance, your revenue through maybe kiosk promotion and other activities. And the other one, customer service. So customer service is very important. You have to give them rewards, presents, or redemption schemes. And then financial management, you have to manage all these expenses well. This I classify under soft skills. So if you think you have any others to add, you can add on another circle. And then the hard skills starts from the practice of property management, property and facilities management, where building services. Here, building services, you have to maintain all the M&E facilities in the mall, HAB and all that, and buildings, repairs, and all that, and external building inspection, internal, all that. And here, you have to do insurance management, the risks and health. This is very important now. Insurance management against robbery, people, what they call a slip from escalators and things like that. And maybe people, what they call sleep in the toilet after they fall and not on the head. These are under here. And here, car park management, make sure your car park is well secured, easy to go in, easy to go out, no theft, and housekeeping, you make sure it's clean, and cleanliness and security here is very important. And lastly, after doing all these activities, you transform your mall. From not doing well to a performing mall. So I put here 10 transformation practices. And I don't know, maybe now if you want, you can add more transformation practices. Maybe instead of 10, you can add on maybe 12, 14. Depends on your mall. Because each mall is different. Manage a mall A is different from managing mall A, B, and C. because each location of a mall is different. And for talk about location, there are 3 levels of location in a mall. A mall, just for instance, located in what you call Sukhumvit. Sukhumvit is location 1, first level. Then your second level, your mall is here. Your second level is your location surrounding this mall. Level 2. And level 3 location on outer. But today, when people talk about location is only 3. So I have told Dr. Sapon there's more than 3 locations. Because the 3 locations, I think, was developed by an English gentleman way back in 1940, where the market in England in 1940 is different from the market in England today. So then you can add on, and then the rewards of the mall, as you add on, you still have to add on what your mall rewards you. So you see, if you do this triangle, leasing will bring you what? Rental paid on time and good cash flow, and do also tenancy management. There's one. These 2 will get this reward. And then extend this one, you get this reward. And you do this one, you get this reward. And you do this one, you get this reward. You do this reward. And if you do the 5, you get all this. So I work on a triangle. If I were to read from my text or from my notes, I think it's endless, it's meaningless. You know? So I show you. Then you can improve on this. Yeah? And then Dr. Sopon talk about what? Unfoldment, is it? One, attainment. The hard, now talk about the hard element. The hard elements is basically about managing property management and facilities management and all the equipments in the mall. So I put it down here. I draw one side. I've just explained. So these 2 goes to all here. So anything else Dr. Sabon asked me? What question? You read out like how to control? What? Market risk. This one here. Here, that's what I said. Here is outside the control, because here is the market risk. There are different type of risk. Risk that is manageable, and risk that are beyond the mall manager. So a mall manager must actually have an understanding of all this, and especially the market movements of monthly, quarterly, daily, and yearly. So sometimes market risk is very hard to predict. You cannot predict the motivation, the thoughts of a customer. So if people try to predict customers' motivation, it's very hard. Basically, you are trying to think that customer, what he thinks, what he wants. And I'm sure a mall manager is impossible to predict what the risk may come. Sometimes, earthquake, typhoons, even though there's weather forecast, or sometimes it's beyond the control. And things that can be controlled, I think there are few here, all these 10. Number 10, all can be controlled. And beyond than that, I'm not sure. But maybe beyond that, I have not experienced it. I hope I answered your question. If not, you write it to me, then perhaps I'll give you a better answer in your email, through your email.
Yes, sir. And what about you said something about the location that in 1940 people just use the location, and location. So if there are two malls in the same location, the location are the same. What will be the big difference for the success of the mall?
Okay, I shall use line 10. Let's say mall 1 here, there's one mall 1 here, and mall 2 here, along the same street. Let's say about maybe about 100 feet or whatever, say less than 1 kilometer apart.
Yes, sir.
This location, if you look at deeply, your site location may be facing a river, facing a building, or some other surroundings. Or your site has got easy access in here and there. And this location, no doubt along the same street, may have different view, different location. Am I right?
Yes, sir.
And first location is your site location. Your building is located. And then second level location, you look at this is your location, and what second level location, what immediate surrounds your location? What type of activities surround your location? And these activities surrounding your location may be different from activities surround this location. Dr. Sapon.
Yes, sir.
And then the third level location, your location, this first level, second level, a third level of location, I'm sure is entirely different from here. Because this location, the activities, the surrounding can never be duplicated, can never be the same. Next, another level, this fourth level is linkages. Maybe here, you link by LRT, good transportation, and all that, but here maybe not. And what else? And you look further, fifth level location, you have what? Maybe you have all the government agency here, and here maybe not. And then lastly, you go a little bit further, sixth level location. What is your neighborhood? Your residential neighborhood, where it's up or down or low. And here. And lastly, this location, what the government has in mind for this location in future. And it may be different from here. It cannot be the same. So in short, those days in the 1940s, I think maybe the location, the surrounding, the economic activities wasn't that, what I call robust, or things were quite, different from then and now. So in England, 1940, and in England now, I'm sure it's different.
So for the sizable shopping centers, say maybe 10,000 square meters or something in a city, what is then in your case, in the case of the Malaysia, what is the number of population that need for a shopping center, minimum population for that?
Okay. In Malaysia,
Yes, sir.
there are three categories of shopping mall. One in the city,
Yeah.
The famous one in the city is Pavilion. And the other one is TRX, the new one. There, the mall there, easily 1 million square feet. Maybe 100,000 square meter.
Yeah.
And there, basically, they cater for the tourists. Then, however, the other malls, the famous one is the Mid Valley. It's about, I think, 5 kilometers from Kuala Lumpur. Total of 1.1 million square foot net. Big. And they cater for the neighborhood. And there also on the catchment around Mid Valley is basically huge catchment area. And then you look at successful mall. One is One Utama. It's also 100 million square, about 100,000 M square. They have a big, huge catchment of residents. And the other one, famous one, I think everyone know, is Sunway Mega Mall. It's also there.
And what about the small one? The small one, the first category, how much?
The first category, the first category of mall, I think those days started with lot 10. Lot 10, I think is about, say, about less than 500,000, I think. Lot 10.
I see.
It was about 20 years ago, very successful. Then as time goes by, when what they call a pavilion took over, developed the mall, and so slowly, the catchment area moved, and they lot 10 specialized in other, F&B and some, retail outlets and all that.
Another question is, if we go to a small city, and we want to have a branch of a mall from Kuala Lumpur. So at least, what is the total number of population for a small city to have a mall?
For a
What
mall,
is the size of the
let's
city?
say, for instance, Kuala Lumpur to Malacca. Malacca is about 1.5 hours, I think.
Yeah.
So a sizable mall will be about 50 square meter.
50,000.
50, 50.
50,000.
500 square feet, it will be 50 m squared.
Oh.
500,000 m squared.
Uh-huh.
50 m squared.
That is the small one already?
A small one, yes. But you must have this size in order to put whatever tenant you need to put.
So the small one should be at least 50,000 square meter or 500,000 square feet.
Yeah, 500,000. You see, now I quote another example. Eon,
Yes.
they're moving to the outskirts.
Yeah.
Like Malacca, out the outskirts there, they have about 50,000 m squared.
Oh.
Accessible. You manage to put maybe downstairs your grocery supermarket.
So 10,000 square meters or 100,000 square feet is not work for a small city.
Yeah, that depends on your catchment.
Yeah, the small catchment.
There's only one. You're only one, But the other what about the other departmental store? More started with departmental store or
Yes.
emporium. They call it emporium those days.
Yeah.
As they move on, yeah. So they may have other, emporium departmental store as opposed to your mall. So I believe in each small city, I think minimum they might have 10. Like Malacca, I think they have 10.
10,000 square meter or 10 what?
No, 10 malls.
10 malls.
10 malls, and they may have ranging from 20 square meter to 50,000 square meter.
I see. Say if we want to establish a mall, say as you said, 50,000 square meters or 500,000 square feet. But how can we foresee that in the future there may be a bigger one than us to kill us? How can we foresee?
If you ask me to foresee, to predict, actually you are trying to predict.
Yes.
Let's say you're a developer. You want to you see all the mall in Malacca, small size.
Yeah.
You maybe 5 years down the road, you say, I want to have 1 million or 100,000 square meter.
Yeah.
Basically, Dr. Pond,
Yes, sir.
It's very difficult to predict your what they call the various category of customers will visit the mall because population.
I see.
Nowadays population is very mobile. Population is mobile. Population mobile. The young one they move here mobile. It's due to the mobility of the population. I think it's quite difficult to determine whether 1 million square feet in a small city in the next 5 years will sustain or not. That, I'm sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I cannot, give you that prediction. It's just like, you have all the data of the data of the mall, how many square feet in Malacca, the population data, the income data, and also the age group, and you are using all this data to go into the midst of the future and predict 1 million. I think it's impossible. Impossible. It's just like property valuation. Dr. Pond, you come with all the market data and data, all that, and you are trying to go penetrate in the midst of the future to determine the market value in 10 years' time or 20 years' time. I think it's basically it's all basically, projection. So whether it's attainable or not, I'm not sure. Big one camp is basically trying to take over the market area, market catchment. It's just like, Dr. Bond, in Bangkok, I see you have a condominium built 10 years ago, and 1 year later, another new condominium, built across the road. So generally, people will move now. The people move into the new one. As a result, this one will come down because the market share I'm taking from a small limited market share, where the population there is not going up, is stable, and then also the income group and the age of the population is very hard to predict. And said again, nowadays, population is very mobile. People are very mobile these days. So they will go and seek employment, jobs everywhere now.
So there are some questions. There are some questions here from
Malaysia.
Mr. Ting. Yeah. What are the factors that are outside the control of many managers, of mall managers? The second one, presumably, even if we have several malls within the radius, there is a potential for each mall to succeed using this model.
What's Mado?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Let me
model-
read again. Presumably, even if we have several malls within the radius, there is a potential for each mall to succeed using this model or not.
My
Your
model.
Yeah.
Okay. You mall. Let's say you have 3 malls in various
Yes.
in the same location. This model basically is to, in a nutshell, that I've experienced. I plotted how to manage a mall successfully. Is within the 3. Each mall will survive depend on their location, because the difference is location and what type of merchandise or tenant mix or retail mix they have in the mall. If you look at the 3 malls, if the 3 malls were to have all the same thing, Gucci, LB, Prada, all that, the same, no big deal. But they will differentiate it in what? Culinary, food courts, maybe entertainment, cinema. Maybe I put in the digital mall.
I see.
You have to segregate. No developer in his right mind will duplicate a mall here with the same thing. At best, they duplicate a few brands, and the rest they have to differentiate.
So in Thailand, we have many malls, many owners of the malls. But until maybe 2 decades ago, we have only 2 major brands left. The rest may be dying. The smaller one may be dying. We have the mall groups, and we have the central group. Only these 2 are very aggressive. For the rest, maybe they are not in good position. So what about in Malaysia? Do you have something like a monopoly, something like in Thailand or not? We have only 2 major malls, something like Coke and Pepsi, So is that happened in Malaysia, and what to do?
So in Malaysia, basically most of the malls like Pavilion, Sunway, what they call Mid Valley, they're all 100% owned by the developer. They must have deep pockets to sustain the mall.
Yes.
So for mall development, it takes about 10 years, 10 years to stabilize it. Because let's say you develop a mall today, you bring your tenants, you're basically doing trying tenant in, tenant come in, tenant go out, and things like that. I think some of the mall, it takes average 10 years to stabilize. And they know their market, their catchment.
10 years, maybe too long to wait. Maybe we may be dying.
No, 10 years, because you have to, each year, because tenants will come in. Those days, they're short of tenants. Tenants will come in. Some tenants are not doing well. They replace.
I see.
Today, Dr. Sapon, we are not short of retailers. Today, we are short of people going to the mall. How to attract people to the mall?
Yeah.
That is a challenging question.
Yeah, because now they are buying some online shopping.
They're buying online. They're buying, in night market, chat, everything. How to bring these people back to the mall?
So how to do that, sir?
How to do that? I
Yes.
think you're going to pay me a fee, then I tell you.
But first, you may just briefly so that to attract more people to get your advice.
Okay. You see, ladies and gentlemen, we have to look at ourselves now. So maybe look at ourselves when we were born. So we look at the age group now, people born after the 1980 and before 1980. In China, it's similarly the same. Before 1980, the mall, there's no mall there. They call it Emporium Supermarket or that, where people go and buy your daily grocery, fruits, and all that. But after 1980, the economy picks up. You got a younger generation. They got deep pockets. Parents can afford. Then they want something different. They don't want to buy, Gucci, LB. That's it. No big deal. You wear Gucci, LB, Prada. I also have it.
I
But
see.
I want something different. Something different. Let's say a rich man, a super rich man.
Yes, sir.
Why should I buy Prada, Gucci, the same with you? If I walk the same street, I happen to see you, Dr. Sapon, we are wearing the same jacket, man. Same. No differentiation in.
Yes.
So differentiation means
No.
what can a mall owner entice or stimulate people, young people, or the future people to come to your mall? So I listed out about 10 questions. In the future, people are lazy. They will rather go to a mall. They can work there, eat there, entertain there, and connect people there. So that's why now you look at the mall in over the world, in Kuala Lumpur and China, they're all mixed development. In there, they have a mall, they have offices, they have hotels, and they have condominiums. So they bring in everybody in there as a one little community, a small little township.
I see.
Yeah. So there's a trend moving towards that now. But I don't know, next 5 years, they may have some kind of other development to bring people in. So from China now, from experience from China, pre-COVID and post-COVID, I think all the malls in China now, and even Hong Kong, except one or two big malls in Shanghai, Beijing, they're sustained.
I see.
People are now moving towards outlet mall. Outlet mall, they're going to spend a day there and
Oh,
stay,
I see.
and because they don't know when the next COVID will come. If you're the developer, if indeed you want to do a mall 1 million square feet, I would suggest you do an outlet mall outside the city, maybe 3-story. You do an outlet mall, you try it out for 5 years. If it's booming, okay. If not, then you can change of use. Alternately, you can knock it down. No? If you do a mall, like Central, 8-story, they spend maybe 1B, 2B to build. It's too expensive to knock down. If you do an outlet mall, you do in 3-story in blocks, you can change it. Next best alternative use.
So what is the risk premium? Say if we build 10 malls, maybe 2 may bankrupt or 3 may bankrupt. If 2 or 3 may bankrupt, this means that the risk may be 20% or 30% or 10% or something. So far, as your experience, what is the risk premium for malls?
For me, if I have the money to build 10 malls,
Yeah.
is it in the same location or in the same city?
No, I mean in general in the city.
In a city, in my right mind, I won't build or construct 10 similar mall in the city.
No, I mean different developers may have different malls, but when they come put into the market together, there may be some malls that fail. So what is the percentage of failure for building a mall, for developing a mall?
Actually, from speaking, I'm not a developer, but I will use my
experience, your observation.
My observation by traveling, to China and things like that.
Yeah, you went to China, Malaysia, Indonesia.
The way I see it. So what I'll do is, if there's 10 mall, I'm sure all the developers in their right mind, they will not duplicate their tenant mix. 100% they will not duplicate.
No duplicate.
F&B, yes. F&B, they will duplicate, but they will improve it. Maybe they will go more towards entertainment. Entertainment, convention, exhibition. because the exhibition and all that. Maybe do something more towards a digital type. So at least though you can have some of your market share. If you have to duplicate the same thing what you have, you won't go to support.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So the risk, I'm sure the developer who have the right what they call planning and the right consultant to advise him. Perhaps you're the one. I'm sure they will not duplicate, malls, similar malls in similar location in similar city.
I see. Okay. So that should be the time for Mr. Victor S.S. Lim for his wonderful presentation. Should be a very good time for this. And if you cannot come at the beginning, Miss, you can listen to, you can go back to the YouTube soon with also the PowerPoint presentation. Will be there for you. So no worry. Don't cry. Don't cry. You may come later. Any last words, sir?
Yeah, last words. Words of wisdom. Because I know, I'm sorry, it's very confusing, this chart. If I were to explain circle by circle, it'll take me half a day.
Okay, I will give you half a day.
Half a day, and it's not fair to the other speaker. So I've just cursory, I go through all this. So if any of you in this part of the world or the other part of the world, I will be able to explain one by one.
Yes.
Maybe I will write some short notes one by one.
Yeah.
All that. This is only a basic.
Yeah.
But for you, you are those who are involved in shopping mall.
Yes.
Perhaps you can develop further.
Yes.
You can develop further, and that, and don't just stick there. Develop further. And if you got any views, suggestions, I will welcome to improve on this chart or the other slide.
This is perfect already. No need to improve.
One more. Sure. The
Yeah.
other.
So,
You can improve on it. So add more words on the left and the right.
yes, sir. So let's give a big hand to Mr. Victor Lim. The chat, there was a question to Mr. Lim. That is, should the mall be under one roof? What if the outlets are around the perimeters of the land? Again, should the mall be under one roof? What if the outlets are around the perimeter of the land? What is the answer? Mr. Lim cannot understand. Maybe I will read again. Should the mall be under one roof? This I understand. Yeah, one roof. Yeah. And which is the outlet? What if the outlet are around perimeter of the land? What should be the scatter? How much they should? How far they should scatter or something?